The morning arrives without your usual drink. No coffee, no juice, no liquid calories disguised as hydration, just water. Within the first hour, your body registers the absence. Your cells have been expecting their usual chemical cocktail. Caffeine to spike alertness, sugar to flood your bloodstream, artificial compounds to process and eliminate. None of it comes. And something remarkable begins. Your kidneys notice first. They've been working overtime, filtering not just waste, but the endless parade of substances you've been consuming. Sodas, energy drinks, sweetened teas. Each one forcing your kidneys to manage osmotic pressure, balance electrolytes, and process compounds they were never designed to handle in such volume. Now, with only water entering your system, the workload drops dramatically. Cellular hydration starts normalizing within hours. Water moves into cells more efficiently when it's not competing with sugars and additives for absorption. Your blood plasma, which has been thick with dissolved substances, begins to thin. If you're a caffeine drinker, withdrawal whispers its presence. A dull headache emerges. Fatigue settles in. This isn't weakness. This is your nervous system recalibrating to function without artificial stimulation. But beneath this surface discomfort, your kidneys are already filtering more effectively. Your cells are beginning to release waste they've been holding. The confusion you feel is temporary. Your body hasn't forgotten how to operate on water alone. It's been waiting for you to remember. By hour 12, the real work has begun. 24 hours of only water. And your body shifts into a mode most people never experience. Your kidneys, freed from processing chemical additives, increase their filtration rate by 20 to 30%. This isn't theory. This is measurable change happening inside you right now. Each nephron, those microscopic filtering units, works with newfound efficiency. Toxins that have been lodged in your tissues begin mobilizing. Your body stores what it cannot immediately eliminate. Chemicals from processed drinks, metabolic waste products, cellular debris. With optimal hydration, these substances finally have a transport system. They move from tissue into lymph, from lymph into blood, from blood through kidneys and out. This is why you're urinating more frequently. Your body isn't wasting water. It's using water as intended, as a vehicle for purification. Your skin activates as a secondary elimination pathway. Sweat composition changes subtly. The compounds leaving through your pores are different now. Less processed residue, more natural metabolic waste. Some people notice a temporary skin breakout during this phase. This isn't your skin getting worse. This is what mobilization looks like when toxins find their way out. Your blood plasma composition is transforming. The sticky substance-laden fluid is becoming clearer, more efficient at its primary job, transporting oxygen and nutrients while removing waste. Every cell in your body bathes in this fluid. When it's clean, everything works better. This isn't deprivation. This is activation. Your body remembers this state. It's been waiting to return. 48 hours in, and if you could see inside your vessels, you would witness something extraordinary. Your blood is changing its fundamental nature. For months, perhaps years, it has been thick, viscous with dissolved sugars, proteins from liquid calories, chemical compounds your body struggles to categorize. Now, properly hydrated, your blood thins to its optimal consistency. This isn't dangerous thinning. This is your blood remembering its design. Red blood cells, which have been squeezing through capillaries like traffic through narrow streets, suddenly move freely. Oxygen delivery to tissues improves. Your heart, which has been working harder to pump thick blood through your vascular system, finds the workload decreasing. Blood pressure begins to normalize, not dramatically, but measurably. You might still feel tired. You might be experiencing caffeine withdrawal or craving the sugar hits you're accustomed to. But beneath this surface struggle, your cardiovascular system is operating with an efficiency it hasn't known in years. Each heartbeat moves oxygenated blood to your extremities more effectively. Your brain receives better perfusion. Your muscles get the fuel they need without your heart straining to deliver it. Studies document that blood viscosity can decrease by 15% with proper hydration. This matters. Thicker blood creates more work, more wear, more stress on vessel walls. Thinner blood flows like it should. Smooth, efficient, life-sustaining. Your cardiovascular system isn't just functioning. It's being restored to baseline. And the changes are just beginning. 3 days of only water, and the organ that consumes 20% of your body's energy begins to transform. Your brain is 73% water, not approximately. Exactly that ratio is required for optimal function. For too long, your brain has been operating in a state of subtle dehydration, even while you've been drinking fluids, because many beverages actually create a net water deficit. Caffeine is a diuretic. Sugar disrupts fluid balance. Alcohol actively dehydrates. Even innocent-seeming fruit juices can create osmotic stress that pulls water from brain tissue. But now, day 3, your brain is finally fully hydrated at the cellular level. Cerebrospinal fluid production normalizes. This clear fluid bathes your brain and spinal cord, cushioning them, removing metabolic waste, delivering nutrients. When you're chronically dehydrated, cerebrospinal fluid becomes less effective. Waste products accumulate. The fog you've been living with wasn't permanent. It was circumstantial. Neurotransmitter production depends on adequate hydration. Serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine. Your brain synthesizes these from precursor molecules, and every step of synthesis requires water. Properly hydrated, your brain produces these compounds more efficiently. Mental clarity isn't just a feeling. It's neurochemistry operating as designed. Your thoughts feel sharper because the physical substrate of thought, neurons, synapses, neurotransmitters, is working optimally. The fog lifts not because you've added something, but because you finally removed everything that was interfering. Your brain isn't struggling anymore. For the first time in longer than you remember, it's thriving. And this clarity is just the beginning. 4 days in, and a system most people never consider begins its transformation. Your lymphatic system, that network of vessels and nodes running parallel to your bloodstream, has been moving like sludge. Lymph fluid, which carries immune cells and removes cellular waste, requires adequate hydration to flow properly. Without it, this system stagnates. Unlike blood, lymph has no pump. Your heart moves blood, but lymph moves through muscle contractions, breathing, and adequate fluid pressure. When you're dehydrated, lymph becomes thick and sluggish. Waste products accumulate in tissues. Immune cells move slowly to where they're needed. You've been operating with a compromised cleanup and defense system. Now, finally hydrated, your lymph begins flowing as designed. Cellular debris that has been sitting in the tissue spaces gets swept into lymphatic vessels. Immune cells travel efficiently to lymph nodes, where they're activated and deployed. The slight swelling you didn't realize was constant, in your ankles, your fingers, your face, begins to resolve. This matters more than you know. Your lymphatic system is your body's waste management and immune surveillance system combined. When it flows properly, inflammation decreases. Toxins leave. Immune function improves. You might notice that the chronic low-grade puffiness you attributed to aging or genetics is actually just lymphatic congestion. 4 days of optimal hydration, and this forgotten system remembers its purpose. The waste is moving. The defenders are mobile. Your body is cleaning itself from the inside out, one lymphatic channel at a time. 5 days of nothing but water, and the way your body produces energy fundamentally changes. Inside each of your cells are mitochondria, those ancient organelles that generate ATP, the energy currency of life. Every single energy-producing reaction in your mitochondria requires water molecules, not as fuel, but as an essential component of the process itself. When you're dehydrated, even slightly, mitochondrial efficiency drops. Your cells produce less energy from the same amount of nutrients. You feel tired not because you lack calories, but because your cellular power plants are operating at reduced capacity. But 5 days properly hydrated, and your mitochondria return to optimal function. There's something else happening. For 5 days, you've consumed no sugar spikes, no liquid calories to create insulin surges followed by crashes. Your blood glucose remains stable. Your pancreas, which has been on a roller coaster responding to beverage-induced sugar swings, finally works at a measured, steady pace. This creates an energy experience you may have forgotten was possible. No mid-afternoon crash. No desperate need for stimulation. Your energy level stays consistent because your metabolism is operating on its natural rhythm, not the artificial cycles created by what you drink. Research shows metabolic rate can increase 24 to 30% in the hour after drinking water. Over 5 days, this compounding effect means your body is burning energy more efficiently, using nutrients more effectively, and maintaining baseline function without the chaos of chemical interference. Your metabolism hasn't just improved, it's been reset. 6 days without anything but water, and your digestive system begins remembering what it was built to do. Your gut lining, that delicate mucosa stretching from your stomach through your intestines, has been under constant assault. Acidic sodas, sugary juices, chemical preservatives, and flavored drinks, each one disrupting the protective mucus layer, interfering with enzyme function, and feeding bacteria that thrive on processed compounds. Now, day 6, that lining begins to heal. The mucosa, when properly hydrated, produces a robust protective layer. Stomach acid secretion normalizes, not too much, not too little. Digestive enzymes, which require specific pH levels and adequate hydration to function, work as designed. The food you eat is broken down more completely. Intestinal motility improves. Your intestines move waste through rhythmic contractions called peristalsis. This process requires properly hydrated tissue. When you're dehydrated, constipation isn't random, it's mechanical failure. Now, hydrated, that movement returns to its natural rhythm. Your gut microbiome is responding too. The beneficial bacteria that dominate a healthy gut don't thrive on the sugars and additives in most beverages. They thrive when you stop feeding their competitors. The bloating you didn't realize was constant begins to disappear. Digestion feels effortless because it finally is. 6 days in, your digestive system isn't just functioning. It's been given permission to stop managing chemical warfare and return to its actual purpose, extracting nutrients, eliminating waste, protecting you from pathogens. The renaissance is quiet but profound. 7 days, and the changes move from invisible to undeniable. Look closely in the mirror. Your skin, the largest organ you possess, tells the story of what's been happening inside. For a week, it has been hydrated from within, not through lotions or topical treatments, but through the one method that actually works: cellular hydration. Your skin is composed of cells that require water to maintain structure. Collagen, that protein responsible for firmness and elasticity, binds to water molecules. When hydrated, collagen maintains the architecture of your skin. When dehydrated, it collapses slightly. The difference shows. Fine lines soften, not because they've vanished, but because the tissue is properly plumped with water it was meant to hold. Inflammation, which has been creating redness and uneven tone, decreases measurably. Your body's inflammatory markers have dropped. This shows in your complexion. The sclera of your eyes, the white part, brightens. Bloodshot patterns fade. This isn't cosmetic. This is vascular health becoming visible. There's more. Your joints have been lubricating more effectively. Synovial fluid, which cushions joints, is primarily water. 7 days of optimal hydration, and this fluid returns to proper viscosity. Movement feels smoother. Stiffness decreases. Yes, people might notice. Your skin looks clearer, your eyes look brighter, your face looks less puffy. But these visible changes aren't the goal. They're evidence. Your body has been transforming from the inside out. What shows on the surface is just proof of the profound work happening where no one can see. 7 days complete, and the deepest transformation is the one you cannot witness. At the cellular level, something ancient and powerful has activated. Autophagy, your cell's self-cleaning mechanism, has been enhanced. This process, where cells break down and recycle damaged components, requires optimal hydration to function fully. For 7 days, without the interference of chemical additives and inflammatory compounds, your cells have been cleaning house. Damaged proteins are broken down. Dysfunctional organelles are recycled. Cellular debris that accumulates during normal metabolism is cleared away. This isn't dramatic. This is maintenance at the molecular level, finally allowed to proceed uninterrupted. Your inflammation markers, C-reactive protein, cytokines, interleukins, have decreased measurably. These molecules, which signal systemic inflammation, drop when you remove inflammatory triggers and provide optimal hydration. Less inflammation means less cellular stress. Less stress means better function across every system. Something even more remarkable is occurring. Gene expression, which genes are active, producing proteins, influencing your physiology, changes in response to hydration status. Genes involved in stress response dial down. Genes involved in repair and maintenance dial up. Your DNA hasn't changed, but how it expresses itself has shifted. This 7-day reset isn't just about feeling better. It's about cellular function returning to baseline. Your 40 trillion cells have been working in suboptimal conditions. Now they remember what optimal feels like. This week wasn't just 7 days, it was a recalibration at the deepest level of your biology. The question is what you do with this knowledge. 7 days have passed. Your body has shown you what's possible when you remove interference and return to simplicity. Your kidneys are filtering efficiently. Your blood flows optimally. Your brain is clear. Your cells are hydrated. The transformation has been thorough, touching every system, every tissue, every process that keeps you alive. But here's the truth. This reset is fragile. Return to your old patterns, the sodas, the energy drinks, the endless flavored beverages, and within days, your body will shift back. Not immediately, but inevitably. The kidney efficiency decreases, blood thickens, cellular hydration drops. The fog returns. Not because your body wants to fail, but because it responds to what you give it. Maintaining this reset doesn't require perfection. It requires awareness. Your body needs roughly half your weight in ounces of water daily, more if you're active, more if you're in heat. The difference between baseline and optimal is simply consistency. What you've experienced this week is what your biology considers normal. The state you were in before, chronically underhydrated, constantly processing unnecessary compounds, that was the aberration. You've been living in a compromised state for so long, you thought it was standard. 7 days have given you a reference point. You now know what your body can do when you stop asking it to process everything except what it actually needs. This knowledge is power, but only if you use it. Your body has remembered what baseline feels like. The choice of whether to maintain it belongs to you alone.